Hey, we're on again. Okay. Now remember last week we did A, D and E. And we said that A, D and E sound good together because they're chords from the same scale. And that is a scale in the key of A. Now, there are lots of different scales, but they all have the same chords within them that sound good relating to that first chord. I'll show you what I mean. Now, when we play A in the key of A, we always start and finish on A. So we play A, then we'll play a D, and then we'll play an E, and then an A to finish on. And you normally, in a key of anything, start on the same chord, start on the key chord each time. Not every time, not all songs do it, but most of them do. And if you finish on anything other than the key chord, it sounds a bit odd. So let's say we do that and finish on a, say, it sounds like it's not finished. Whereas you put that A in there, it sounds like your song's done, if you like. And that's called resolving the tune, and it means that the song's finished, if you like. It sounds finished. Now there are other keys, and the reason why we started you with A, D, and E is the chords A, D, and E are in a lot of other keys as well. And what I'm just going to show you now is the key of D. Now, really, the reason why we're going to D next is you only have to learn one more chord, and you can play the same progression as we've just played in the key of D. Now that chord is G. Now a G is played, now the way I play it slightly differently to the way it's written in the books. In books they only use 3 fingers, but I'm going to teach you a way of playing it with 4 fingers. Now the way you play it is, if you're going from a D, I think it's probably easier if I can turn this way a little bit and move that way a little bit so you can see it a little bit easier. I think that should be right. Now when you're playing a D, you've got your middle finger on the 1st string at 2nd fret, your index finger at the 3rd string on 2nd fret, and your ring finger on the 2nd string at the 3rd fret. So it's there, there and there, and that sounds like that when you play these 4 strings. So it's only the 4 strings you're aiming for. You can play that one as well if you want, if you remember from last week, but you don't have to. Okay. Now the reason why I play a 4-fingered G is A, because it sounds better, but B, because I find it easier to change from a D to a G by using 4 fingers. Now the reason why I find it easier is that finger, this ring finger, doesn't move. Okay, it stays in one place. Your little finger comes on just behind your ring finger. So you're playing the 1st string at the 3rd fret and the 2nd string at the 3rd fret, but with your little finger and your ring finger. Now these two come across. Your index finger goes on the 5th string at the 2nd fret, and your middle finger goes on the 6th string, so it's quite a reach across there, at the 3rd fret. So it's like that, and it sounds like, and you want all those strings again to ring freely and not be vibrating or buzzing against any of the fingers like. Okay. Now when we played it in A, that last little progression, it went. Now, so there's A, D and E. Now to play the same tune in D, it goes D, G, and then it goes to A again. So Do you hear this? Hear how it sounds the same, but just a little bit higher. So what you need to be practicing is that G chord, and the change from D to G. With the change from G to A, I'm afraid that's just a difficult one, in that you've got to take all your fingers off and put them back down into the A chord again. No easy way around it, you just get used to doing it, and all it is practice between G, A, G, A. Okay.